I have good news. There are gay people in heaven, and I know because I've seen them. Hi, my name is Dakota Lee. I have a gift to see in the spirit. I am also a professional animal communicator, and God's been letting me visit heaven since I was 12 years old. For as long as I can remember, I've been asking God this question. What about gay people? What am I supposed to think? Because I certainly know what my church was saying, and even verses that it read in my Bible. What was that saying? But something never sat right with me. God has hinted to me, well, more than hinted at times for years, that he is so much more compassionate than we give him credit for, including with people who are gay. But there was one of my most recent experiences really hit the nail on the head for me in terms of how he feels about gay people. And this experience happened just a few months ago. I was praying and I felt Jesus say, I want you to come to heaven with me. And so like our normal, I closed my physical eyes, opened my spiritual eyes, and let him carry me on up to heaven, my spirit on up to heaven. And when we entered into a huge party. I looked around and I felt like I was in a ballroom of a modernized Beauty and the Beast mansion. There were people everywhere. People even had a drink. They were socializing. And Jesus entered, and oh my gosh, he was this life of the party. He would walk around to everybody and engage in beautiful, brilliant conversation. They all knew who he was and they were happy to see him. And I even lost him in the crowd for a moment. And I'm real short, so I was, where did he go? But he found me again. And after he kind of made his social circle, Jesus came back and said, I want you to meet somebody. So we went over to the side of the ballroom where there were these French doors. We walked through them onto a balcony into open air, and there was this absolutely beautiful mountain scene with the town down below. We were way, way, way high up in the mountains, and I didn't even realize until I looked out. And that took my breath away, but that was not what Jesus wanted me to see. He tapped me on the shoulder and turned me around and pointed to a man who was there, who was dressed in, I still don't know if it's a really flouncy, fancy pantsuit or a gown, because it was something in the middle. But this was a man, and he was very clearly gay. And at that moment, I knew Jesus wanted us to have a conversation. So this man smiled at me, and I walked over, and I very quickly, I kind of skipped all the small talk. After a quick, how are you? And I'm good. I asked him, what do you think of Jesus? And his response, he kind of looked up and he had a slight smile. And I got this sense of information really quickly that happened faster than words. I believe in him. I believe, but I don't really know him just yet. And what this got across to me was that this man had, at some point, had enough faith, even if it was mustard seed style, enough faith in Jesus that had brought him to heaven, but he hadn't developed a relationship with Jesus beyond that. So even in heaven, he was just beginning to develop a relationship, a deeper relationship with Jesus. And then I asked, well, what are the kinds of things when you do talk to God and Jesus, what are the kinds of things you guys talk about? And he said that his conversations around God had actually resided on earth, that he didn't realize this until he got to heaven, which is sometimes that happens. The things that you didn't even realize you were carrying on earth, you get to let go of in heaven, that you didn't even realize were so heavy. But he said that on earth, he had to become so big in his appearance to convince everybody around him, no, he didn't fit into this box. He didn't fit into that box either. He was his own person, and he had to become so big to show it off. I thought that was really interesting. And this man said that in heaven he was learning he didn't have to do all of that. But it also struck me that when he got to heaven, God not at all put any pressure on him to be gay, to think differently, to act differently, except in a way that was better for this man's soul. Wow. Our conversation was ended after that. I think Jesus came and got my attention again. And I don't know about you, but it sits right in my heart that there are gay people in heaven. You know, I was going to make this video. I've attempted to make this video at least